Let's turn attention to Rivers State, where Governor Siminalayi Fubara says a judicial panel of inquiry would be set up to probe the finances of the state prior to his assuming office. The governor noted that the new Attorney General is coming in at a critical time that the state is involved in many legal matters. Governor Fubrara lamented the inability of both warring groups to find a peaceful way out of the political crisis. The governor also attributed his emergence as governor to divine intervention and not a mistake, as claimed by his predecessor, Wike. For more updates, a legal practitioner, Inibehe Effiong, joins me on the news. Mr. Effiong, thank you for joining us on the news at 10. What's your take, really, about Governor Fubara's decision to set up a judicial panel of inquiry to probe governance in his state? Some say it's a witch hunt against his predecessor. Do you share their sentiments?
The governor's decision obviously is not unconnected with what has been an ongoing political battle between him and his godfather or benefactor, as it were, Mr. Wike. I believe that, yes, the motive may be political, but as a person, my attitude to this has always been that it is not wrong to look into what happened under the former administration. If, for example, he's alleging that certain contracts were awarded and were not properly executed or accounted for, of course, the government has the right to look into that. I believe that when that panel is set up, the Judicial Commission is set up, Mr. Wike and any other person affected by it will have the right to be represented at that commission of inquiry. That is even if eventually he sets it up. Because politicians may say one thing in the morning and then in the afternoon they say different things. So I think we just have to wait and see what the terms of reference will be when eventually, and if eventually he sets up the commission of inquiry.
All right, and talking about developments in the state, what do you say about the emergence of a factional speaker who is leading a 4-member house and screening a nominee who has now been sworn in as Attorney General of Rivers State?
Truly, it is a complicated situation, but it can also be simplified by saying that my position on this is that those lawmakers who defected have lost their seats. And I think we have to imbibe a culture of insisting that politicians should remain in the party on which platform they were elected. That is the only way that our democratic process will have some form of stability. This culture of people getting into public office, particularly parliament, and then the next moment they cross-carpet to another party is not really helpful. We have to discourage that, and that is why Section 109, sub-1, paragraph J of the Constitution is there. That except there is division in your party or factionalization or merger of your party with another, if you defect, you lose your seat. And the question whether there is a division is one that the Supreme Court itself had settled in the case of Abegunde and Ondo State House of Assembly to say that that division, that factionalization must be of a dimension that the party itself can no longer function as a political party. And my view is that PDP has not ceased to function as a party. So if you are saying that you were elected on the platform of the PDP and you are now moving to the APC, you cannot remain in the House. However, I believe that at the end of the day, there will be need for the issue of the vacancy to be addressed by INEC. I do not understand why INEC is silent on the matter.
All right.
Maybe they are waiting a pronouncement of the court. We have to wait and see how that plays out.
All right, but then you also consider the freedom of association. But then what do you as a lawyer recommend as a way out of the political impasse such that the residents of Rivers State will get the full benefit of governance?
Again, that is my greatest worry. In all these fights that is going on, where does the people of Rivers State stand? What is their stake? Because I have asked the question, what exactly is the fight about? Is it about development? Is it about infrastructure? Is it about payment of increment of minimum wage of civil servants in the Rivers State Civil Service? The answer is no. So I don't know what they are fighting over other than political differences or personal interests. What is the way forward? I don't think this can be resolved politically. Tinubu, the president, had tried to do that in his own way, even though some of those conditions will seem to be favorable to the minister. But that doesn't seem to have worked because it seems that both sides had worked back on what looked like a political understanding that they had in the meeting with the president. The matter has to be resolved through the courts at this point. It is a constitutional matter that should be settled legally. I don't think there's a political way out of this, especially in the light of recent remarks that the governor has made. It seems that Fubrara himself is now willing to fight. Wike has already declared that he's willing to fight. But the fight should not be to the detriment of the people of Rivers State. It should not be to the detriment of governance of Rivers State. It should not be to the detriment of our democratic process. Since the courts are there and the matter has been submitted to the court, let the court determine the matter. But I have taken a position.
It's a good way to end that conversation, Mr. Ifyong. Inebe Ifyong is a lawyer. Thank you so much for talking to us on TVC News at 10.
Thank you. Thank you.